Hi there, I'm Rosmarie Lohnes from Helping Nature Heal. So I manage and run an ecological restoration company that sort of looks like landscaping sometimes. And so how does social impact find itself in my company? Well, I think that for a few things, we run our business through the sustainability model. So we're always looking at three factors: social, environmental, and economic. We try to filter all of our projects through this process so that we know that we're touching on our key goals. Our mission being to reconnect people to the nature. I say the nature because it's the most important thing to us as humans here on this planet. If we don't have clean food, water, places to play, places to read and wonder and vision, have vision quests, what are we about on this planet anyway? We need to have these things to sustain our needs. And we need to be able to wonder and envision, imagine, and wander through our lives in connections to all these people that we get to meet all the time. There's several hundred of you standing in front of me today, and I don't know any of you yet, but hopefully we will. Getting sustainable and being social have a really great tie at Helping Nature Heal. So what we do a lot is hire young folks, challenge them, give them great opportunities. Sometimes it's fun and sometimes it's painful. But it's all about our socialization into a world that's ever-changing and that we really don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So this idea of helping nature heal, connecting people to the land. When people are connected to the land and know where their food comes from, that it's safe to play on the grass outside at the park, that it's great to drink the water coming out of the lakes and rivers, when we know that we're safe in our environment, then we can be sustainable. We can rest our worried minds. We can achieve some of our hobbies and goals. And so sustainability finds its way in all of our aspects of our life. When we're thinking about restoring ecosystems, we think about how is the human connected to the land and why for such a long time we've been disconnected. We have a raging problem around nature deficit disorder, something that has never been mentioned 10 or 15 years ago. And all of a sudden we have people who are so connected to their technologies, to their fast-paced lifestyles, to whatever they choose to fill their time with, that they forget that they're part of the system that makes this whole planet work. So to remember that we are about this place and that we have permission to live within it and to change it perhaps, to make it better, to create and be adventurers, is really where we can find our deepest, most honored connections to the nature and find ourselves within that. So when we're working with our clientele and we see that they're usually considering fixing up the landscape or worried about their shoreline eroding or the apple tree that needs to be pruned so that it has more fruit on it. I'm really wondering and trying to wiggle my way into their hearts and souls. What do they really need? Do they need that lawn looking perfectly so that they're not stressed out about the weeds? Do they need clean, healthy food that they can grow themselves and share with their friends and families and teach their children where apples actually come from? It's not a plastic bag at Save Easy. When we talk to little kids and youth and our young adults, and we ask them, what is their deepest longing? What do they remember the most? What do they crave? Mostly, they want to be able to be connected to their friends, connected to their social media, to all of the awesome technology. And I say, okay, if we could solve that challenge, what else? Well, what else do you need? They need compassion, empathy. They need people that can guide them through their lives. They need healthy lifestyles. And inevitably, it comes back down to the nature. They need connection to nature. It's where we find ourselves. It's where we can make some social change, and we can have a really deep impact. One of the stories I like to tell is about one of our clients who comes from far away, and they arrive at the airport having flown for many, many hours. They jump in a cab or a rental car, and they drive to Lunenburg County. They're rushing, the 103 might be under construction or have all kinds of challenges upon it. They drive into their yard, finally arriving at the summer cottage. They look around outside the windshield and everything as it should be. They step out of the car and they stand on lovely tiny pea gravel that kind of sinks as they walk into it. And as they walk and approach their cottage, they see the beautiful gardens, they see the land not eroding into the ocean, they see the trees beautifully pruned, having fruit on them, they see shrubs and flowers, and they feel like they're at home. There's a sense of safety and security there. They open the door and enter this second home for them, and they feel as though they've arrived. And so when we think about the impact that that has on this family and this couple with their children, they've flown probably 24 hours to get there. They've done all kinds of hoops and hurdles to get the funds, to get the timing, all of these things organized. Our social awareness prepared and ready to be on vacation at the cottage. And so they get there and all things are fine. And so this sinking in, this view of the beauty, the aesthetic appeal, the nourishment they reap from these landscapes impacts them in very deep, profound ways. We've had people hugging and crying and loving us because of caring for all of those exterior sorts of things that really do impact their lives incredibly. I'm always so grateful to them for sharing their notions and their experiences coming from a stressed out life into that relaxed space, because it tells us that we've arrived. We've made that, and we've made the answer to their questions of their social impact. At Helping Nature Heal, we're always striving to connect to the nature so that we can really fully understand who we are, who our neighbors are, and what our place is on this planet. When we become part of our ecosystems, once again, we can then reabsorb that energy that we've been deflecting off of us. Even under our feet tonight is a lot of concrete, and we're not attached to the nature, right? When was the last time you walked in nature barefooted and really took the time to listen and smell and feel and wonder about what's going on in your life? Helping Nature Heal can really do those kinds of things, and I hope that this evening you'll take a moment to think about how does your nature, your personal nature, need to be healed, in what way, in what form. It might be very subtle or very aggressive or very extreme. Think deeply about that. How can you reconnect to the nature, find yourself once again, and heal all of your challenges, and see that the opportunity is on the other side of that challenge. I really encourage you to stop by and chit-chat with us later on this evening. Thank you.